all the bye-bye Bibi posters need to be taken down. No, he is amazing. He has this kind of wolfish cunning. I mean, he's brilliant as a politician and a tactician. Whether he's brilliant as a strategist, either to make a new government or for the security interests of Israel.
What the new government does. I mean, what he does with the new government.
Yeah, I mean, the news we just heard is, we don't want to kind of bore people with the names of tiny parties, but that was exactly right. The United Arab List is the third biggest party, and then this party called Kulanu is the fourth biggest party, and indeed could be a kingmaker. If its leader says there should be a national unity government, that is a huge thing. However, it has to be said, it's certainly correct that Netanyahu will begin by saying, I'm not interested in unity, I'm interested in Israel has voted the way I wanted it to vote, and that's that. The one crucial thing is that it's inconceivable that the opposition, the Labour Party and the Zionist camp, will join a national unity government, which is predicated on there being no two-state solution.
Well, that's where I wanted to go. So Netanyahu has to swallow that pledge, because it was a pledge he made.
You could write the speech, Evan.
I mean,
Netanyahu said, if it was my own decision, I would say it's a bad neighborhood. We'd be insane to evacuate territory. However, the interests of Eretz Israel, of the land of Israel, require for the moment that we come together. I could write the speech, you could give it. You know, but it gets him off the hook, actually.
What is clear, though, is, I mean, this was a kind of cottage cheese election. The left did well in this campaign when they were talking literally about cottage cheese, as I understand it. Cottage cheese, the price of it was an issue in the cost of living.
It's an incredibly important issue.
And the right were winning on security. So when it came to domestic sort of living purses, it was
well, there are two separate things.
What I want to get at is, has Israel on the security issue now just moved to the right? Is Netanyahu where the Israeli population is?
No.
The Jewish population?
No, I really don't think so, because actually it's very important to remember that the defence establishment was absolutely unprepared to mount a preemptive strike in Iran. A whole parade of people from the internal security, Shin Bet, and the external security, Mossad, all said, you've seen the film The Gatekeepers, there is no secure future for Israel unless we deal with Palestinian suffering, grievance, and ultimately give them some form of political self-expression. The issue, what we have to sort out is the general sense, which Netanyahu was very clever and entirely sincere about exploiting, that different from the election of 2013, we had this roaring nightmare of insane jihadism really next door in Syria. You know, ISIS is not off in Turkmenistan, it's right next door. Why would we, for this particular moment, deliver a whole set of territory to fundamentalist groups determined to destroy Israel? That's different from actually the majority of the Israelis deciding now and forever that there'll be no Palestinian state. I promise to be very quick. The timing of Netanyahu's, it's regarded as panic. It may have been panic yesterday or not. What it did brilliantly was not give the opposition a chance to say the opposite, namely, the long-term security of Israel is not served by ruling out a Palestinian state because it will radicalize the West Bank.
But if you were liberal Israeli, Jewish Israeli, you must be depressed that there has not been a liberal government there, a Labour government, for 15 years?
Yes, and I can hear all my friends
that it could have been that
there is a rising chorus of oy vey, even as we speak, over Tel Aviv right now, that's for sure. However depressing it may be, a few years ago, the Labour Party was written off. It was really, really on the ropes. So it has had something of a comeback. The extraordinary phenomenon of Arab voting, you know, where else has there been Arab democratic self-expression, ironically, as Israel has moved to the right? That, you know, it's correct to say the 27-27 thing is important. So it's certainly not the case. An alternative view to nationalist fundamentalism is dead and buried. I don't believe that for a minute.
Simon Schama, thanks very much indeed. And I should say that we have just been hearing that Netanyahu has said he is speaking to the right-wing parties, as you said he would be, trying to form a coalition with them.